NorCal, SoCal. Yes, there was a vibe.
At the time, Tony was winning absolutely everything. There was a lot of people that kind of thought he couldn't.
There was definitely a battle between them. And they were two different skateboarders, so they were both equally as insanely good.
Holmes was like style and going high, and Birdman had every trick in the book.
Kind of didn't care which one of them won, but it was so awesome to watch how rad they rode by pushing each other.
If it was head-to-head, you could feel it. You know, it was pulsating.
It made the hairs on your back stand up. And you were just like, ah!
Christian and I were usually on top of the standings, you know, 1 and 2, and flip-flopping quite a bit. It became weird because suddenly it became this sort of NorCal, SoCal rivalry. And he somehow represented NorCal, even though he was from LA. But I think it's because of his affiliation with Indy.
I was like adopted into the whole Thrasher family, independent family. All the hardcore, you know, raging, partying, you know, punk rockers were all Indian Thrasher. Then you got down south, Tracker, Transworld guys, and they were clean, they were surfers, they were mellow, they were all about skateboarding. Back then, we were headstrong at saying, you know what, no, this is the way. You know what I mean? That isn't the way, you know what I mean? We're it, they're not it, you know? And so you got this great head-on collision of cultures inside of a culture. And that spoke to the fans. The fans were like, I'm totally on this side. No, I'm totally on that side.
Tony Hawk did not have a beautiful surf style. He was gangly. He didn't look pretty. He looked fantastic, but he didn't look pretty. He's not a pretty skater. He's not a beautiful stylist. And so one of his main rivals was Christian Hosoi. And Christian Hosoi, he was as beautiful a skater as there has been in the history of the sport. And he was powerful, and he was exotic looking, and like Alva, he was a rock star. And everyone, the punks, the hardcore, loved Christian. And if they're gonna love Christian, they're gonna hate Tony.
Put your hands together for Christian Hosoi!
I mean, the fans were crazy. That rivalry that they created, it pushed us to be even more competitive.
And so they would always battle. They would have these total battles that were just epic, just insane. Polar opposite styles and approaches to skating, but nonetheless, both just as good.
Christian was more amplitude, style, grace, and power. Tony was like pump up the volume and throw some, you know, like robotic, like technicality into it.
They said, you don't have style, you just have tricks. That's all I wanted. I just wanted new tricks.
You know, I would have to go higher at the next event because he'd make up 3 new tricks.
This is it, do or die for both skaters.
How many times?
Can't make it anymore. No, don't say nothing, 'cause baby, there is no more. Oh, just leave your flowers by the door. Leave them by the door.
In 2021, EverybodySkates releases the first ever Christian Hosoi and Tony Hawk limited edition collab deck in red. And in 2022, we follow that up with a black colorway. And now, in 2023, EverybodySkates is proud to announce the final rendition of the Tony Hawk Christian Hosoi limited edition collab deck in silver. These will be signed and numbered by Christian Hosoi and Tony Hawk. Don't miss your last chance to be a part of this history.